Brian here from Kaiser Bros Media, and welcome to another edition of the Corvette series. It's been about a month since we purchased the C5, and I wanted to give an update since we've had some time to drive and discover it. The C5 was listed at well below market value, so I figured we'd find some issues and problems along the way that would explain why the price was so low. So now, join me as I give you a transparent overview of each of those issues that we found, so you can know what to expect when purchasing a similar year Corvette, especially since most of the issues we found were common to this generation of Corvette.
Issue number 1, misaligned headlights. While the headlights flip up like normal, they're uneven and out of alignment with the rest of the hood. Here you can see the left headlight sticking out about 1/4 of an inch. It's definitely noticeable. The right side, which we'll also address on another issue, sometimes sits high as shown here, but also sometimes sits as much as 1/2 inch too low. I'm hoping a manual adjustment of the headlights will fix this and that it will be cost-free. Issue number 2, headlight outage. As shown here, the headlights flip up like normal, but the headlight on your left is not lighting up. Although this may be a sporadic issue, as you'll see later in this video, I'm hoping a quick headlight bulb replacement will do the trick here. Issue number 3, headlight motor. Sticking with the headlight theme, the first problem with the headlight motor is that the headlights don't flip down when they're turned off. After doing some research online, I was able to find a workaround where, as you can see here, if I first turn on the high beams and then turn the lights off, the headlights then flip down. That also leads to the next problem of the headlight motor making a horrible grinding noise when the lights flip down. And here I'll show you an inside view from the engine where you can see the spinning motor continue to go after it turns off. I'm hoping that the fix will be an adjustment of the current motor, but a complete motor replacement is not out of the question. Issue number 4, weather stripping. Worn out weather stripping is pretty common with this and other generations of Corvettes. The weather stripping is a little worn, as you can see here, and probably should be replaced, but luckily I live in San Diego where it doesn't rain often. Even then, I'd hate to get stuck in an unexpected rainstorm, so it will need to be replaced soon. Issue number 5, brakes. This issue is more in line with standard maintenance, but I figured it should be added since the brakes are replaced less frequently than things like oil changes. There appears to be a little pad left, but it looks like both the front and rear brakes will need to be replaced in the next 1,000 miles or so. I've changed brakes on my own in the past, so I'll most likely do the same here to try to save on some labor costs. Issue number 6, radio. When I first purchased the car, the radio, which is stock, appeared to be working fine, although as you can see here, there are a few obvious missing buttons. After about the first week, for some reason the radio stopped turning on. Although as you can see here, the clock still comes on. I'm not sure of the exact fix, but I'm hoping it's as simple as a fuse replacement. Issue number 7, air conditioning display. Luckily, the air conditioner itself is working and blows cold air, however the AC display is extremely dim. In fact, it was so dim that until I filmed this video, I thought the display was completely off, instead of the very dim display that you can see here. I'm thinking this may be as simple as a fuse or backlight replacement, but it could also be a more complex electrical issue. Issue number 8, center console. When I test drove the C5, I noticed that the center console lid was a little loose and wobbly, and after further inspection, it was easy to see that both the lid and the bracket that holds it together was completely broken. But instead of actually fixing it, one of the previous owners decided to use a hot glue gun to hold everything together. This will obviously require a full replacement of both the console lid as well as the bracket. Issue number 9, shifter indicator. This next issue is both something I discovered during the test drive and common to the C5 generation of Corvettes. On the automatic shifter, the orange indicator is broken and doesn't move when shifting gears. After removing the center console, you can see that the orange indicator was completely broken from the shifter attachment. I was able to find a repair kit online for this, which I'm hoping works so that I don't have to replace the whole shifter. Issue number 10, shifter cable. The last issue is the most impactful and probably will end up being the most costly. About a week after purchasing the car, I was making somewhat of a rush trip to take my dog to the vet. When backing out of my driveway and making somewhat of a three-point turn, the car and shifter appeared to be in reverse, but the car would not move forward at all. After a few more attempts to back up, I instead kept moving forward and closer to running into the curb on my driveway, as you can see here. At this point, the car was stuck in the middle of the street, so I decided to put it in neutral and get out and push. However, even after using every ounce of strength, I was only able to get it to budge a few inches, which luckily was enough to technically get it out of the street, but it was still dangerously close. Since I don't have a winch, I called my local transmission shop and arranged for a quick tow to the shop. Once the car got to the shop and up on a lift, the mechanic could clearly see that the automatic shifter cable was completely snapped and that the transmission was also stuck in third gear. This explains why it was so tough to push it, because it wasn't actually in neutral and was really stuck in third gear. After about a day at the shop, the shifter cable was replaced and the shifter and transmission were back to working order. The only problem was that with the cost of the tow, replacement cable, and labor costs, my wallet was now about $700 lighter. Now that we've covered each of the issues that we've found, let's go through a quick breakdown of potential costs for each. As mentioned, I'm hoping the headlight misalignment can be fixed with a manual adjustment and won't cost me anything. A replacement headlight bulb should cost a little over $30 from my local AutoZone or O'Reilly. If I have to replace one of the headlight motors, it should run around $130. On the more expensive side, the weather stripping kit will cost around $800. The cost for new front and rear brake pads should be around $80. If the radio fix is a simple fuse replacement, that should cost less than $10. For the AC display, if that's also a simple fix, the cost of a new backlight should be around $300. To get a nice C5 embroidered console compartment lid and a replacement bracket, it should run me about $272. The automatic shifter indicator repair kit is reasonably priced at $28. And finally, I've already paid $700 for the shifter cable replacement, so this is a known cost here. We're planning on including these fixes in upcoming videos, so stay tuned for more future related content. For those who haven't seen the previous video where we show the purchase process, the C5 was listed at over $3,000 under expected market value. So now, let's add up all the potential costs to see where we stand. I was able to purchase the C5 for $13,000. Adding up all of our projected costs to fix the issues, we totaled $2,082. When you add the purchase price to those projected fixed costs and subtract that number from the market value at the time of purchase, we get a potential profit of just over $1,000. Now, I didn't buy the car for potential profits, and I'm sure we'll have some surprise issues that come up, but it's nice to know that I'm not completely underwater at this point.
So now that we've seen all of the issues, each of which will cost time and or money, the big question is, do I have any regrets with the C5 purchase? And the answer there is absolutely none.
First off, the car just looks plain incredible. I still don't think I've seen another with this color that came straight from the factory. And also, it's so dang fun to drive, and just listen to the sound of the exhaust here. If you're thinking about buying a C5, just test drive one and you'll never look back.
Hopefully this video will give you a realistic overview of the true cost of ownership and maintenance for a C5 Corvette. That's a wrap for this video. Since you've made it this far, please give us a like, subscribe for more content, and let us know what you think in the comments below. See you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.